My name is Beverly Regoso Corpus. I am one of the chartered members of Mount Zion. I was here when Mount Zion was born as a church, and I grew up here. A lot of my faith was strengthened here as a teenager, and when I went away to university and then eventually came back, I served as youth minister for about 3 years. In terms of what the greatest youth ministry highlight has been for me, I can only speak to the fact that when I was here, when I was serving, we had probably the largest youth group at the time, over 100 people. And it was a hard thing to gather them all together. And compared to this generation now, I suppose what's different is that we didn't have to contend with social media. Back then, it was when we called an activity together, whether it was Bash Week or Vespers at someone's house, or even just an outreach ministry to feed the homeless or go do the soup kitchen. Kids showed up. They wanted to be together. They wanted to spend time, and it was about the gathering. And it wasn't so much about what we were doing, but it was about being together. And that, I think, was something that was so important for our generation growing up then. The greatest blessing I have been able to glean from serving here at Mount Zion has been the opportunity to engage the families, and not just the young people, but the parents, and having conversations with them about what was important and how to help the young people grow. And a lot of our youth don't know this, but I had conversations with their parents and we prayed behind their backs because there were just so many struggles that were not talked about. And to be able to have that opportunity to hear the struggles as well as the joys, it helped shape me to eventually become a wife and a mother to my own family. There are a few memories that really stick out, but I mean, there were just so many things we did back then. Bash Week was obviously something we enjoyed. JCI, Just Claim It, we made a trip out to Texas. There was a huge group of us, took a flight out, you know, we hung out, we got to know each other. There was a lot of tears, a lot of growth, a lot of personal exploration, and rediscovery of who God is and what he means and all that he's about in our lives. And I think that was important for that time. And another time that was helpful to me, I think, in my own personal growth was I had a core of people that were really kind of the people that were my go-to people, the people with the youth council as well. But there was a handful of people that were around when I didn't know what I was doing, and I was confused and questioning my own leadership. And it was these people like Mekamato and Sean Norte and Rowena Velasquez, and of course Judy Gamez. You know, she's always been there. She's always stuck by, and of course Glenn Mariano, who's always kind of just prayed, I think, and also encouraged and just supported by showing up. You know, there are so many people that it wasn't even me. It wasn't the service I offered. It was the presence of the people that came, that supported and poured their time and their energy into what we were doing together. And I think that was more important than anything that I ever did as a servant here at Mount Zion. It was that people showed up, and what mattered to them was that we were together and we were able to serve together and grow together. I want to share some thoughts with my church family, in that we're living in a time where it's important to know whose you are and who you are in Christ. And I leave you with the simple thought of keep asking questions, keep seeking, and you will find the face of God.